All right, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick for today. Missed you a couple of times. We're in Florida now, and I'm on bright and early this morning because we have a big day of lots of stuff to do. But I wanted to be sure to get on and to share the virtue for today, and that virtue is tolerance. So let's just take a look at what tolerance is, the description of that, and let's just see how it is resonating with me this morning. And I would love to hear how it resonates with you. So, tolerance helps us to accept differences and frees us from being judgmental. It is recognizing that all peoples have feelings, needs, hopes, and dreams. Tolerance is an appreciation for diversity, whether of culture or temperament. It leads to unity. It is being patient and forgiving when others make mistakes while calling on discernment to know when to stand up for justice. Tolerance is accepting things that we wish were different with humor and grace. It allows us to embrace the pain as well as the joys of life. So I love this word, and I think it's one of those words that, in today's world, oh, my nose is itching. In today's world, there's just not a lot of tolerance. Everything is so polarized. You're either for or you're against. It's all black and white. There's no kind of in between. There's no acceptance of differences, even though that's what much of it is supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be about diversity, but if you don't agree, then you're a bad person. And so, when we're tolerant, I really appreciate this thing here on whether of culture or temperament, because I think, from my point of view, one of the things that I've been working on, of course, is family issues. And, what is the culture of the family? So that we'll start with that. So it's, when two people get together and they have a child, those two people come from two different backgrounds, two different ways of being brought up and parented, two different social circles most of the time. And so when the two of them come together, there can be clashes, there can be differences, there will be differences, there can be arguments, right? There can be, I don't agree with how you're doing that because that's not the way I was raised, and I turned out okay, and this is what our child needs right now. And so that can be a real difficult thing. And so in our 4 C's of successful families, that's one of the things that we approach, we talk about. We help two individuals to come together to figure out where the things that they agree on and how to use those things as the foundation of raising their child, of developing a vision for their family, of having a mission, and working together in unity. And tolerance, by appreciating the diversity, by appreciating the other person and the culture that they came from, it can be one of the most beneficial things that our children could possibly ever have. So the second part of that is tolerance about temperament. And every child's temperament is going to be different. Every person's temperament is going to be different. And so, one person may have very high anxiety. They may be worried about a lot of things. They may be concerned that things aren't going to go well. They might be irritated by certain things. And our ability to be tolerant of that and to be tolerant of how this person reacts is going to help them to grow and be, and to grow the virtues that are needed to balance out that temperament. At least that's what I've found with myself. So the more I delve into the virtues that all of us have, the more I recognize that each one of the virtues can be overdeveloped or can be underdeveloped. And when when they're not in balance with the other virtues, then there can be real issues that for ourselves as well as for those that are around us. So, having said all that, tolerance appreciates the person for who they are and is not in the process of trying to change that person or to make that person into something that they had hoped for. It's accepting those differences, right? It's accepting it. And some of the things that irritate individuals are so small and really have absolutely no, um, you know, basis in breaking up a relationship. You know, things like how the toothpaste tube is squeezed, or how the toilet paper roll is put on the thing, or how dishes are put away, or how there's just so many little tiny things, and so accepting these things with humor and grace and being willing to to work with the other person and to accept those differences frees us from the being that judgmental person and frees us from being so upset all the time. So, how do we teach our kids about tolerance? So, well, obviously, we set the example for them. We talk about that tolerance, and we also, in doing that, we make sure that they know about balancing it with justice and balancing it with assertiveness, and being sure that they know that even though others may be different than us, every person has very, very similar hopes and dreams, and that is pretty simple. That we're all safe, healthy, successful, and happy, and that's especially for our kids. So, we want them to um, embrace life and others without judgment, right? And we need to demonstrate that, and we need to talk about that, but we need to do so in a way that's patient and forgiving and willing to listen to the other side. All right, guys, that's my thoughts today about tolerance. I'm going to go into the world today with a lot to do, but I'm going to go into the world today with some tolerance. And there's going to be things that come up in the day, I know, that are going to be difficult to deal with. And yet, having this word today is going to help me to try my best to understand what others are thinking and feeling and hoping, and working with that so that we can create some unity and some peacefulness in our lives. So, thank you very much for being here. And until next time, keep practicing the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families. And that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time, bye.